Thanks for staying with us. I'm Bill O'Reilly in the weekdays of Bernie segment tonight. Two hot topics, beginning with an FCC commissioner whom we took to task last Friday after he said this to the BBC.
I think American media has a bad case of substance abuse right now. We are not producing the body of news and information that democracy needs to conduct its civic dialogue. We're not producing as much news as we did 5 years, 10 years, 15 years ago, and we have to reverse that trend.
We did reach Mr. Copps. We told you we would, and he told us he could not appear on the Factor because he's too busy. But apparently he had a little time for the BBC. Joining us now from Miami, the purveyor of BernardGoldberg.com. Mr. Goldberg, how could anyone be too busy for the Factor, Bernie? I mean, I just...
You know, I was thinking about that, and I finally figured it out. He was busy doing some really big cable show. You know, yours is okay, but a really big one that all Americans watch, BBC America. I mean, you know, they're all watching that, so that's why he had time for that.
And not for us. Now, look, there are two schools of thought here, because we talked to Newt Gingrich about this last Friday, that it's all theoretical, that these guys, you know, oh, they're lamenting the loss of the media dominating, about liberals' media dominating. But there's nothing to it. And then the other side says, wait a minute, these guys really want to get involved in the fabric of talk radio and cable TV. Where do you come down?
On the latter, I think this is serious stuff. I think when an FCC commissioner complains about the way news is covered, and then when he goes to the journalism school at Columbia University and talks about, and these are his words, a test of public values, a government test of public values to determine who gets their licenses renewed and who doesn't. That's something that my liberal friends would normally call a chilling effect. But the reason they're not concerned about this is because Commissioner Copps has only one goal in mind, only one, and that's to shut down conservative talk radio and move on from there. And it started literally the day Barack Obama was elected president. On that day, Senator Schumer came on Fox News. I'm going to read just a short quote. Bill Hemmer interviewed him. By the way, I'm not plugging my wonderful book, A Slobbering Love Affair, although it's a 2-year-old book, so I'm not plugging it, but it would make a wonderful Christmas gift. Hemmer asked him, what do you think about the FCC controlling content? And Schumer said, well, I think we should try to be fair and balanced, don't you? Taking a shot at Fox News. Hemmer persisted and said, but seriously, what do you think of content? And Schumer said, well, government can limit pornography, and I'm all for that. I think pornography should be limited. And then he went on to say, and if you could limit pornography, you can't say the government can't get involved in other things. Now, Bill, I'm never surprised when stupid people say stupid things, but Chuck Schumer is not stupid. He got a perfect 1600 on his SATs and then went off to Harvard. When he compares pornography to political speech, something is going on, and it's not something good.
Okay, but if they tried that, then they would have to intrude in NBC News' world, PBS, NPR. All of the liberal organs would then be under the same scrutiny as a Fox News channel and talk radio.
Can I jump in here for a second? Sure. You are right theoretically, but as I also write in my wonderful book, during the campaign, independent studies were taken that showed that those news organizations, ABC, NBC, and CBS, had far more negative stories about John McCain than they did about Barack Obama. Does Commissioner Copps really want the FCC to step in and straighten that out? When Barack Obama went overseas, all 3 network anchors went with him, adding some prestige to the trip. When John McCain went overseas, none of them went over. Does Commissioner Copps want the FCC to step in and make anchors go overseas with a Republican candidate? No, that is not their intent. Their intent is simply to silence conservative talk.
All right. Now, if President Obama gets behind this effort, I predict that would be the end of his administration, because I don't think the
Absolutely correct.
I think the American people, short of the far left, but everybody else, and we're talking 80%, all right, would condemn any intrusion into the press as we know it now.
Absolutely 100% correct. there would be an uprising in this country,
Right,
not a violent uprising, but there was an uprising during the last election, it would make that one look like a picnic for Barack Obama. You're 1,000% correct on that.
Right. Now, last